Well,
But only
she
werewolves do that. Any black blood vampires,
that's true.
as far
It,
Because
as I know.
vampires attack human because they need to drink blood. They're just driven, like they're like crazy driven because they need to drink blood, right? But what about werewolves?
I think they're the same thing. It's crazy hunting for blood. That's why they had those deers in there. You're just gonna kill those deers, but the people were there instead.
no, that would totally
Yeah, I
make
would rather
sense.
be a vampire than a werewolf. Like, it sounds like they all have to be driven by blood, but werewolf has to turn your whole body into a wolf.
Yeah. And you're also like super uncontrollable, right? Well, I don't know if vampires, if they can control their impulses, which I've definitely heard is in Canada. So if y'all got vampires, you probably do got werewolves too. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I definitely think that was a good point that they're all like blood sucking and like driven to suck your blood at that point. So I think it was definitely really interesting. For the sake of the stream, what's up everybody? We just finished watching Black Mirror. I don't think the episodes are orders, and I don't remember the name of this one. Adela, what was this one
Lazy
called?
day.
Okay, Macy Day, yeah.
Lazy day.
And so in this episode, it started out with a paparazzi camera lady, and she was taking pictures. She gets intel from her friends, so they go on this adventure trying to find this celebrity. They end up finding her, and then they end up finding her, and she turns into a werewolf, and then like eats everybody except for the one reporter in the end who gets the camera to go and sell the $1 million pictures. And so it's kind of a lot to unpack there, just as we started to, like, with even talking about werewolves and, like, if we thought that he's even a real thing. And because that was my question, like, man, do y'all think that some people in this world really turn into werewolves, like, when the moon comes out? And, you know, and because, like you said, like, with it being Black Mirror, you know, Black Mirror always shows you, like, these alternate variations of civilization, right? And so when I seen that, that's what I was thinking, like, okay, maybe there are people that have to deal with this in the world, you know, if werewolves are real. It's something we've seen many times, you know, where it's a regular person but they are fighting their blood sucking tendencies, even if we're just going to be a little philosophical with it. So what did y'all think about the episode?
I think I think I wanted to talk about like the paparazzi thing. Take a photo. The first time the girl take a photo caused the man suicide, but it's not actually because of she take a photo that caused him suicide, right? Like he suicide because like his secret was public, and then like the paparazzi, like the second one is like kind of stupid. Like they break all the way in to a rehab joint to check Macy Day and just to take photos. And it would, I don't know if you guys noticed at the last, like when Macy Day is shooting herself, that lady actually took a photo of that. I
Wow.
was like, that's kind of cruel. Like,
Yeah.
in the end, you want money.
Yeah, I mean, it almost shows you
Yeah,
like how people are willing to do anything for that money, right? Like kill people. I mean they show you that in Civilization, but like even I think it shows you like how, like you said, how what you do for money affects others, right? So it's like you took a picture of somebody else for money, and then they end up killing themselves. You go take a picture to try to sell it for money, and then the werewolf gets out and then kills everyone else. And then it's like even in that moment where she's about to kill herself, you're still taking a picture to like capitalize off of that. And I think it also shows that like our civilization, like it kept getting worth more and more, right? It was like at first they're like, oh, this shot is worth 30,000, and then it was like by the end of it they're like, wow, this shot is worth 1,000,000, right? So it's like that last shot was probably worth like 10 million if she got her, you know, as a werewolf and killing herself. And like again, how much like that is even valued in our society and why it even has that much value. And it's because of the algorithm and what people enjoy seeing, you know. So I think that also shows something about our society, and because that's how paparazzi is, you know. I actually just seen here from the DC where back where I'm from, there was actually a rapper that just had a whole like faking like he had just got robbed and his chain stolen, because then all of the blogs posted about him, and then he was like, I was just lying, I didn't get my chain stolen, I just dropped my album and y'all never post anything unless it's bad.
What?
And so yeah, he was just like, my point proven, like I just dropped my album, nobody posted it, I said I got robbed, and then everybody's posting it. And so, you know, he really did show everybody though, like, you know, that how our
They just like play with the quad, basically.
yeah, exactly. You know, it's just like that's what gets pushed, the bad. Like, oh, you know, oh, Kiki and her boyfriend, they going through it, and everybody want them to break up just because he didn't like her dress. And you know, it's always got to be like end all be all with society. It's like, I don't know. It definitely, I felt like, said something more about our ethics and morals and our values, and also, like I said, algorithm. I think it kind of alluded to that without it. Like, for me personally, I refuse to watch anybody die on social media. I don't know if you guys have ever seen something like that, but I think it's absolutely insane that there have been videos that have gone viral of people literally dying and people watching that on social media. Like, I would not start a video like that, and if it starts out absurd, I'm not going to watch that whole video, because it's just, like, I don't want to desensitize myself to certain things like that. And I think our society is just super desensitized to stuff like that because of the paparazzi, you know, and just how they've put that in our face continuously, and you know, algorithm feeds that to us all day long.
That's kind of crazy. I've never seen like people die on social media.
Yeah, it's big here in the States, especially like there was a lot when and it was getting really disgusting when they were like having Black Lives Matter protests and like police brutality, and they would literally always show like a black person being killed by the police, like whether they're being shot and then literally like bleeding to death on Facebook Live or something, and then that video is going viral all across social media, and people are literally just watching it, looking at it, and acting like that's normal. And I think that kind of stuff is far from normal and shouldn't be desensitized.
It was so crazy when they tried to convince the police officer to call for help. However, the police officer just be like, calm down, explain what's happening.
And then she ended up in handcuffs. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, all of that goes hand in hand. That's when I was just in there like, I bet he just would have wished he would have called for backup. Like she kept saying, like, imagine if he just would have called for backup real quick in it. Like, let me get backup and then I'll figure it out.
The thing is, like, I almost want, like, if they have to call back up, they have to explain what's happening. But, like, the way the officer treated that lady, it's just, like, lock her down for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet, like, I guess there's a reason that she was trying to steal that gun, but, like...
Yeah, but she hadn't even gotten to that point until it had kept prolonged, and then it was like the werewolf is there. But I don't know, as a police officer, if somebody comes running in, barricading doors, maybe you know, I don't know. I guess, you know, like you said, maybe their protocol was ask questions, but it really shows you again, even like, again, people's, what is the word I'm trying to think of? Like their priorities, right? Like in that instance, the police officer's priorities was not really trying to get back up and secure the area. It was trying to secure that lady and tell her to calm down, to try to figure it out. Where it was like, you know, priorities in our civilization.
Yeah. And also I remember someone said, like, all the mythical things that you've ever heard, as long as you believe it exists, it will exist.
That's a good one.
That makes sense to you?
Yeah, that I do understand that, but I don't think that's always true. I think things definitely still exist even if you choose not to believe them. that's like when I tell people, like, you could forget about the metaverse, but it's still being built. So, you know, it's not going to not be over here being made just because you're choosing to act like you don't see it. So I get what you're saying, but I don't think that's always true because, there's sometimes things are still happening whether you're paying attention to it or not.
Like for example, do you believe in werewolf existence?
And what? And werewolves?
Werewolves.
Yes, I would. I do. I could.
You do? You believe that?
I can see it. I will say I haven't done no due diligence to really like figure it out, but the way evolution works, if we all evolve from Adam, right, and then continue to evolve from a ape or a fish or a tree or wherever you evolve from, I wouldn't put it past dogs figuring out how to walk on their hind legs and kind of evolving to some kind of human-like species that you'd get into a werewolf, either. And so I try not to put nothing past something as phenomenal as evolution.
True. Just because we dominated the evolution doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Exactly, like that's where you get like Bigfoot, where like these giants or like things that was here that we just aren't familiar with, right? And I think a lot of that stuff, like I believe a lot of past civilizations, in my belief, are like kind of in hiding in a sense, where it's just like out of sight, out of mind, right? Just like what I was saying right now, like just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening, I don't think. And so I think there's a lot of that, right? Like there's a whole world under the ocean that we have no idea how it would even operates or works or anything like that. So I think there could be a lot of, just like space. Sure, there's other species, in the universe. So I wouldn't be surprised if they was here right on our planet too.
I hope someday. I just hope that I wouldn't bump into one. Canada. It's like highly risk. What, Kush, are you from Canada too? Or?
Yeah, I'm from Canada.
No. Really? Which part of Canada are you from?
I'm in Toronto.
Oh, are you going to the blockchain futuristic?
I think so. I believe someone.
Oh, I'm going to that one too.
Get me a ticket. Oh, okay, so I'll see you.
Oh.
Yeah, probably see you there in August.
Okay. See, that's why I was like, y'all over there in Canada. What y'all got going over there in Canada? I don't know nothing about nothing.
Are you coming? No,
I'm not going to Canada no time soon. Especially not if y'all got werewolves and vampires and stuff. I don't know.
I think vampires are in America.
Vampires are in America.
We're in danger anyways.
You're right. I think at this point we gotta really look at these robots. I think everybody forgot iRobot in these movies because they build in the robots that look just like the ones that get angry and turn red and start killing people. So I think I need humans to start focusing on the species around them in general, because I feel like you said, we in danger just about anywhere. Aliens, we done had a lot of alien UFO sightings here in the States. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I do believe aliens' existence, because there ain't no way that only one species in this whole universe is existing.
Okay, do you believe, have you heard of the reptilian philosophy where there's lizard people among us and infiltrated? Do you believe that philosophy, or do you not, or is it not that extensive? Or you just think aliens are from outer space?
I'm thinking about aliens from outer space. I didn't think about between us.
Okay. Yeah, I think
What about you? You think it's between us? You think they're spying us?
Again, I think civilization has been along for a long, long time. And I think in the beginning, people were a lot more cohesive, aware, and then things started to become more secret, right? Where it's and then I also feel although it's secret, it's also very not secret. And I think when we simplify things, we start to understand more things. So I try not to answer all the questions because I don't think we have to, because that's where it gets confusing as well. But I wouldn't put it past it. I have heard the philosophies that there are like another species of organisms amongst us, and that we're just all different species, right? There's some people that's Homo sapiens, and there's some that are Neanderthals, right? Like even those two look like people, but we're like two different kind of different people, and we're like different species. So I think when you kind of get into that, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like if there are like other species, like we definitely like need to know, because like they're gonna live between us, and how come we just never ever encounter anyone?
You probably have. You just don't know it. I think at this stage in life, it would just be a blend where you just don't even know it. Like, if you've seen like Men in Black before, where it's like all the aliens have like regular looking bodies, or like how that werewolf lady was like normal in day and then like werewolf at night. Kind of getting back to Black Mirror, I think that again it just showed like that part of society, that could be operating where it's like by day you think they're this celebrity and this person, but at night they're actually a werewolf.
I just feel like this society is already being strict enough where like all the gay people will be sent into the hospital to get treatment back then, and like we slowly like recognizing the need of human beings, and now we get to the stage where like we're super open-minded toward anything. So like if someone in the past said that they are like from another species that's different from ourselves, then there's definitely gonna be like a news popping up, or like they're sent into the hospitals for no reason to treat their delusions or stuff like that,
Mm-hmm. I think that does happen. I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where we got the whole secret Air Force base, Area 51. That it's like, it's very much like that. Like here in Nevada, it's like only 2 towns really in this whole entire state, and then a bunch of ghost towns like in between, and they are so creepy to drive through. It definitely feels like if aliens were here, this is where they would be living in their own little town, and everything is like super weird, where it's like you have to get on an airplane at a secret airport to be able to get to another stop, to be able to get to the Air Force base that's like super secluded, and then like if you go in certain areas, they tell you like you're being watched, and some places that you'll go in, it's like they'll shoot on sight, like don't cross this line or you're coming to like the shooting range. Like it's like super locked down for stuff like that. And I remember one year when Trump was actually in presidency, something happened, because I would not lie, Trump was one of the presidents that had Americans out here like, stop playing with me, like tell us the truth, because he would actually be out here telling people the truth, even though he would be doing his own thing too. So that's one thing I would never knock about him. And so there was one point when everybody here in Nevada was like, we're gonna go storm the Area 51 because we gotta see what's happening over there. And they like had this big thing, like had a whole barricade, like, yeah, better not or everybody's gonna go because we're not playing.
Wait, did they get killed?
They were going to. Nobody did, because they took them very serious, because they let them know, like, we are very serious. We all know we've always been serious, and today will be the day if y'all try it.
And then they just didn't try.
They didn't try, no. It was like you could see some people had like started to, but like I was saying, like you have to get very far. Like everything is super far. So it's like as soon as you started getting close, you started to see they had like sent tanks out. Like they really like sent army tanks out when they had heard about the petition or the like thing that was about to happen, and the troops was ready. And so it's just kind of like, again, in this show where they were showing you like, oh, you got these big old walls blocking it because it must be something really good behind there happening, and then they see once they got in there, it was, but then I think those people also realized, like, although they thought that they were trying to hurt her at first, whole time, that guy that popped that girl's tire was actually trying to help her. You know, he knew that she ain't need to be nowhere near this lady and letting her get out and all that stuff. So I think sometimes that just goes into like the
Right. I didn't think about that.
you know,
Wow.
and so you gotta think about that. I mean, think about how many times, you know, I remember I seen a show one time when I was like in high school that always changed my perspective of the government, because it was a show called Numbers, and it was like there was a terrorist attack where they had like put some type of poison in the air or in the water in the mail or something. And then when they made the news, they said it was one thing. They didn't say it was like a terrorist attack and all this and the third, because they didn't want like mass panic, right? So they said it was just something else, so that people didn't panic and they can kind of keep the story going. And so sometimes when, you know, we have situations, I just always keep that in mind, like our government is trying to like mediate any kind of situation, so they're not always truthful, because sometimes they're trying to protect, sometimes they're trying to, you know, carry the narrative however they want, and sometimes they just don't know.
So they live for like children towards government, and they're just trying to protect us, and we're like rebellion child.
I think it's 50-50. I think it's 50-50. I don't think they have our best interests all the time, no. So I can't say that it's to protect us. I think it's to protect the masses and humanity. I will say as a human civilization, those that are rooting for humanity are always trying to like figure out how to help us in the long term, if anything. And I think that's their focus. But I think there's also some people or powers that might be doing the opposite. Like I said, there's lizard people. Maybe they're trying to, or robots or aliens. Maybe they want to see humans go extinct. So maybe they do the opposite. I don't know. You know, those are the things that I don't know.
Wow, that's a very deep conversation. I like it.
I'm trying to tell you, girl, it goes deep with it. I love getting all in all these philosophical.
Panicking about bumping into werewolves in Canada. Oh my god.
I know. Next time you go on a date, you're gonna have to be like, we gotta go out when the moon come out so I can see if you're a werewolf or not.
So many people like to hike in Canada. I'm like, yo, like, don't you know it's dangerous? It's kind of like adventure, like it's way too adventurous, especially when you know, like, it literally have the sign on the mountain saying there are bears coming often, and people ignore it and keep going on. They're like, where's the bear? Where's the bear? Let me see. I'm like, yo.
I don't know. I know. I thought that too when you was like, y'all have bears. I was like, yeah, y'all do got real live, like big black bears that would chase you down and fight you, like for real bears.
Real life. Oh my. Yeah, we do. That's crazy. I've never seen one. I kind of want to see one from afar.
What would you do? What would you do if you seen one?
I don't know. You're supposed to pretend you're dead.
I have heard that. I heard you're supposed to just like drop down and act like you're a rock. But I'm like, every inch of my body would tell me not to do that dumb shit if I seen a bear. Like, you better not drop down on this ground.
But you can't run. No. If you run, then like it's terrible. Like you shouldn't run.
So what do? You just, I guess you ain't got no choice but to act like you act like you dead, and you either really gonna die or you not.
You act like you're already dead, or you act like you didn't see anything. You just saw a dog and say hi and just go.
That's what they say. Just act like you saw a dog and just keep going about your business. I don't know.
I guess, and slowly just go.
I would not trust that. I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. I don't know. I don't know bears though. I feel like they're just too curious. Like they be too comfortable walking up to people, smelling people, getting confident. Like he got one time to go like "Rawr," and I'm out of there. So I don't know. You know when they mouths start moving all crazy and they stand up, it's just I can see it. But no, that's interesting, man.
Like it's cute to look at them from far away, but it's not. But like I think Russian people don't give a fuck of any like animals. They're just true. Like, yeah, I saw a bear, I'll take it home to be my pet.
That's true. I seen one of the guys. I seen this one video on Twitter that was floating around of this Russian dude brushing a bear's teeth, and I remember everybody in the comments was saying that too. Like, man, Russian people don't got no fear, like no fear at all. Because I hear, I guess they got big bears too out there, huh? So that's probably like next.
Yeah, they have bears as their pets. And I saw like a video on TikTok where like the bears are actually like doing, like the exercise, like doing service for the Russian guys.
But see, my thing is like, how do you discipline it? How do you set boundaries? How do you say, like, if you do something like, I'm the alpha, and then that bear don't get mad and be like, we gonna see, and we gonna see who's about to win? I guess at that point you just gotta be like super tough, and then it's like the biggest bear wins. I guess some people are just like that though, and they do say animals respect that, like that alphaness.
Yeah, I guess you want to do like a wrestling with a bear. I can't. I'm pretend I'm invisible.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm like, I might just pass out, and I'm either gonna wake up or I'm not. And but I don't know.
Oh, you're so funny.
Cause I don't know, man. But man, this is an interesting episode, and I really like how Black Mirror, it's different things, so we end up having these different kind of conversations that we may or may not have had a chance to talk about, like in these different philosophies, because again, they do matter. I mean, think about it. Now we're in the metaverse. I'm over here looking like a dinosaur, or a dragon. I think my son calls this a dinosaur dragon. So I'm like, remember people
dinosaur
said, yeah, because it does kind of look like a dinosaur, kind of like a dragon. I mean, think about it. Allegedly, there was dinosaurs on the earth at one point in time, or maybe even dragons, and so it's like, if there were these big ferocious animals here at one point in time, who's not to say that there was something like werewolves or any of these other things, or who's to say any of that they were? All of it could just be made up to instill fear so that you walk around scared and stuff. So who knows, man? But it definitely opened up a conversation for us to talk about our society and the people among us and what we think is among us or possible.
Gotta look out for all those weird people.
And also the
Make sure they don't bite you.
And also the ones looking super normal. Those be the real ones. It's like
super normal. That's a good one.
Like almost too normal. Like, I gotta watch you over here. So
I can't even notice people who are like acting almost way too normal.
Right?
There's nothing like way too normal.
Yeah, I guess like today's society, everything is different. I don't know. And that's like another thing, right? The way society's moving, everybody is like almost the same, right? So it's just like, people stick out way more now.
I think everybody's trying to be different now. Like everybody's trying to look a little bit different and be.
I don't know. Maybe here in this U.S. it's this. Everybody goes and gets the same fake butt, same fake lips, same like they all try to go look like the Kardashians, or they really all try to look like young black females. But I ain't even gonna go into all that. They all got the same doctor though.
Well, then you're already to your advantage.
So those that got it, you got it already. And so no, but that definitely some good context to again talk about our society, because it is changing, where people trying to look different, trying to look the same, and something to think about.
And the Black Mirror, this one is really, really just different. So different than previous 5 seasons.
I know.
I hope it can get like a little bit better, like metaverse or like futuristic, but this goes all the way back to the history.
Yeah, I totally agree. I definitely like the more futuristic ones. That was like a cool little like turn, a little switch up, because like I said, I do like getting a little like off the grid with like aliens and werewolves and like weird things like that. But hopefully the next ones definitely get more like into that tech metaverse. I've never seen any of the other seasons, so it definitely makes me also want to go watch the other season. And I'm still.
Oh, you haven't seen the other season?
I haven't seen
Oh
any
my
of the
God.
other ones. No. I would tell you because the first episode I ever watched was the first when it first came out, and it was like the guy put on the headset and then he was with his friend and then they was like together in the game but they wasn't, and it was just like too weird, and it was like at a really weird time in TV where that was like all they were pushing, which was like that like black men kissing black men and stuff like that, and it was just like what.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, and that was like the first one, and it was like I said, that was like years ago, where it was like that's all that it was on TV, and I'm like, dang, I thought this was about to be a futuristic show, and y'all just going there with it too. Like, what's going on with TV? And then I found out later in life that it wasn't even that story that continued. Each episode just switches, so I definitely got to kind of go rewatch the other ones as well.
Yeah, let me know how you like the other one. We'll talk about it next time. And also next time we're doing at 5 p.m., right?
Yes, 5
Next
p.m. We have to
Wednesday?
remember that. Yes, Tiny. Make sure we gotta update our things for 5 p.m. because I totally forgot. I even checked this morning, like, dang, what time did we say 1 or 5? And then I seen yours said 1, and I'm like, okay, we just gonna do 1, I guess.
Wait a second. I think next Wednesday, I'll probably be. I have 1:48. Yeah, maybe 5 p.m. Maybe next week. I'm not able to share my screen though, because I might be flying on the flight.
Okay. Well, if not, you know what? Tiny
Are you?
Tiny might be able to. I'm gonna have to ask her and confirm. I don't want to put you on the spot right now, Tiny, but I know she's got Black Mirror, so maybe next week I can ask her if she can share the screen, and then we can just talk. And then I am streaming right now on YouTube and on Twitter, so make sure you guys drop your thoughts in the comments too. Do you believe in werewolves? Do you believe in vampires? What kind of people y'all think here is on Earth with us? Is we the only people? Let us know your thoughts and what y'all think is going on here in the world, or anything that we've talked about, whether you're for this desensitizing of killing humans, or just anything, because I mean we talked about a lot of different concepts just throughout this episode, which I thought was super dope. Kept it lighthearted and fun like we have been wanting, but definitely still went there. So we want to hear what you guys thought about it. I'm also going to drop it in Threads, because Threads is one of those social medias I think would be fun to have these kind of conversations with, So and then I'll also drop the replay there too, so people can get this whole little idea of how it goes. But hopefully people also share their ideas on if they believe in werewolves or not. Maybe we'll have some fun in that combo. Cool.
Amazing. Okay, cool. And also, if Tiny is not able to share, we can also do next Thursday, because Thursday out there.
Cool.
But yeah, let me know.
I would definitely let you know. I'm about to hit her up now and see what we could do. If not, you guys know we'll keep you posted, so make sure you follow Dolphin Arc DAO and the Raw DAO on social media so you got all your updates. Otherwise, we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Yeah, see you next week.